All right, so welcome back to 4710. This is week 8. This is going to be the second half of lab number 2. So at this point in time, I have Metasploitable running, and I have my Kali box running. It's not logged in. All right, there we go. So we ran through the first 5 steps of this previously. And on a side note, if you look at the homework that's due, I think it's homework 6 is coming up. That's a give me this week, because if you do number 2, that you take the screenshot from number 2 and you take the screenshot from number 5, you put it in homework 6, woohoo, 40 points. Easy win. I have not completed all my homework assignments to revamp them. So for those of you who are paying attention or don't know, or now if you're listening to this, if you haven't done homework 6 yet, that's an easy win for you. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and dive into Kali. What I want to do with Kali is I want to go back and do an Nmap scan or a Zinmap scan of Metasploitable, because there's several reasons. The ports tab on Zinmap gives you a lot of information from a standpoint of what version of software or what version of a service is actually running. Okay? So I know that I've already done a ping scan. I know that my Metasploitable box is .140. So I'm just going to do an intent scan, just like we've done, probably a dozen or so times before in the past. So look at all these ports that open up. Dang, that's a lot of ports. So we have to wait for the scan to be fully done before we dive into this. So while that's running, I'm going to just do a couple of other things. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Armitage, and I'm going to bring up just a regular root terminal. So I'm going to start my PostgreSQL service. Okay. And then after that's up, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Armitage. Start the Metasploit framework that way. And look, lo and behold, my Zinmap scan's already done. So if you go to the ports and hosts tab, all right, if you look over here, you can see a lot of additional information about the service. So you can see that the FTP service is VSF TPD 234. You can look at all these other ones. You can see that the Apache that is running, I'm just going to minimize that for now, is 2.2.8. It's got a couple of, it's got a Samba service, SMBD3, with a work group called Workgroup. And the SMBD is actually here in 445. So this is the Microsoft service. This is the standard SMB service. It's 3.0.20. So in doing a lot of enumeration, you also have you have another FTP server. So you don't have one FTP server, you have 2 FTP servers running on this box. You have a VNC, you have Unreal, which we did previously. But also look here at, look there, 1524 Metasploitable root shell. Well, this Metasploitable root shell is kind of fun to play with, because if you did a Google search on port 1524, Metasploitable, or Metasploit, okay, you can come to this guide. This is kind of like a helpful guide, but it gives you a couple of really cool things. One of which is, if you go back to your Kali box and you just open up your terminal, and you telnet to that IP, right, of the Metasploitable box. Here, you would expect to get a telnet prompt, a normal telnet prompt, and if you look at your XenMap scan, you can see that, well, indeed, telnet is running, right? Okay, so if I did that, I get the telnet login. I have to use a username and login, etc. Right? Let me control out of that, and instead this time, let me put that port number after it, that 1524. Anybody want to tell me what that just gave me? What does that prompt tell you? Go ahead, speak it up. Speak up. It's root. Congratulations. It's a back door. Somebody's planted a telnet back door where you telnet to the port. You go straight in and you are root. How do I know I'm root? Because of that hashtag right there. So I do ls, right? I can see everything where I'm at. If I do a cd backslash or a cd and, oh, home is not set. But this is, I can tell by the way that the prompt is giving me, this looks like a C shell, not a bash shell. All right. So that's always fun to play around with. I might keep that one in my back pocket if I need it later. Okay. So we've done our nmap scan. Let me open up my Armitage. Sorry. All right. No. There we go. So I've already done my nmap scan of this guy. Let's hit find attacks real quick. Get that out of the way. But I do need to do a brute force password crack against SSH or FTP. All right. So I have a couple of those FTP services that I might want to do a little more enumerating on, a little bit more research on. All right. So before I do that, I'm going to use Xhydra. And I'm going to go ahead and get this up and running. And I will say show attempts and be verbose. And let's go ahead with port 21, which is FTP. Because we had a couple of FTP users there. So if I look at port 21, VSF TPD 234. VSF TPD VSF TPD 234. Okay. Oh my goodness, there's a back door. Okay. So that back door this doesn't really give me a whole lot of information, does it? It gives me some information there. I might be able to brute force that. So let's go back and try that with Hydra. I have my common TXT on my thing. I need a username. All right, so I know that it's a Metasploitable box. I'm going to try MSF admin. That's typically a user. I have a root shell, don't I? Oh my goodness, I have a root shell. All right. How do I find users? Etsy, cat, password. There is an MSF admin user. Okay. I can also look in the home directories. Because I am root. I ls that. I have an FTP user, I have an MSF admin user, I have a user, and I have a service user. Let's start with MSF admin. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and select my password list. All right, it's there on my desktop. Now, hint, 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 you may have to adjust your password list a little bit or try a different password list. Find a password list because it's hit and miss as to whether that user's password is in there or not. I'm going to cut the number of tasks down to 8 because typically when you work with FTP and Telnet, it does not like to take all 16 strings. You can overload the memory buffer and you can cause the brute force to crash. Okay, timeout's fine. There's no proxy, no specific things for FTP, and now I just got to start it. So this will go through here. As that's going through, you'll see that it's going to go through that list. It's going through the list in alphabetical order because that's how the list is laid out. All right. There's 480 passwords in that list. So we're just going to let that minimize, let that go through. All right. All right. For the purpose of the brute force, I just need a screenshot of the attempt. If you get in, great. You don't get any bonus points. Okay. I will applaud you, though. I just need the attempt. All right. Number 7. The PHP MyAdmin is running on this machine. So let's look at doing an OWASP zap scan and see what we can find potentially from the PHP MyAdmin site. So since my host is already is all networked into the VMware environment, if I go to http:// and do the 192.168.225.140 just raw, I come to the Metasploitable page, which is being served up by Apache, and I say, oh wow, there's a PHP MyAdmin page here. I click on it. And it looks like the root of that is PHP MyAdmin. All right. That's not a guarantee that that page will be there. So I'm gonna go and start all the way from just the root. Now the OWASP scan may take some time. Okay, depending on how many unique items there are in the web server, right? It could take a little bit of time. So I'm going to get that started right off the bat. So applications, web application analysis, and OWASP zap. So it looks like we're okay, tracking on time, okay. Except, that's right, I haven't used this one yet. Excuse me. Okay, let's see if X-Hydra found anything yet. Oh, maybe not. So yes, I want to persist. And here we're just going to do this from the word go. All right, the root. Click attack, let that start going. We'll let that run. All right, so as you can see, a lot of what you do in enumerating and scanning as a pen tester, it's a lot of hurry up and wait. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a lot of hurry up and wait. All right, so it looks like this might be done. Oh, my, looky there. FTP 192.168.225.140 login MSF admin, password MSF admin. All right, so I can go to a terminal on the Kali box and I can log in via FTP, or right, we had that handy dandy little tool that we used for Apache struts in the last homework. All right, WinSCP. I can do it from my host box. I'm going to do a new site. Looks like I had anonymous here. I'm going to edit that. Same IP. So instead of using username anonymous, I'm going to use MSF admin with password MSF admin. Port 21 FTP. Are you going to work? Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not. Thank you. I wanted 140. How did I goof that up? Edit. Ah, that's why. Thank you. Good catch. I went to the wrong address. Now let's save it, and now let's try it. Password, MSFadmin. Boop. Looky there. We're into the Linux box. Okay. So, did I use a crazy Metasploit Armitage package? No, I didn't. This is just a simple step-by-step process. What's open? What's available? What's potentially wrong with it? Something's misconfigured. They made a username and password the same. I was able to brute force it, and then I was able to test it, and now I have a shell. Okay? It wasn't like the other one where there's a back door there. Again, there was a back door there, but didn't use a fancy tool. I didn't use a fancy package or like what you find in Metasploit or Armitage. These are the things that are harder to find, especially when you go through the CEH exam or the OSCP exam. It's not a silver bullet. Too many times, a lot of pen testers, especially junior pen testers, they look for that silver bullet. Okay, and they don't go through the processes of, well, how easy is this to hack? Is there something that somebody hasn't updated, or is it just somebody, an sysadmin did something really dumb? Okay, so screenshot that, and let's see if we can figure out the PHP MyAdmin. Let's see where we are with the OWASP scan. We may have to come back to that. That is probably going to take some time. Is it still going? It's still going, so okay. We'll come back to it. OWASP takes forever. We'll skip over that. Gain access via our login. Were you able to? How did you accomplish it? Provide a screenshot. Our login is real simple. Okay, so our login in Metasploit has a couple of vulnerabilities. Oops. So if we go back to our in-map scan and we look for our login, (513) login. That might be it. There's my PHP MyAdmin page. But let's look up 513. Looky there. All right. So, but this is a little more tricky because it's not giving us a version. Okay. Well, we can always try a couple different things. Let's go back to our terminal. Let's open up a new terminal. New window. There we go. So our login. So I was looking for root. Don't want to do that. Let's try to do our login, and it's the same process as with SSH or Telnet. Let's try MSF-admin at. So what's his password? We already know what it is, right? There we are. All right. Let's see if MSF-admin is in the sudoers. So let's just try to do a sudo apt get update MSF-admin. I think I mistyped it. Hang on. Yes, MSF-admin is in the sudoers group. Right? So now that we know that MSF-admin is in the sudoers group, what can we do? Pretty much anything we want. We can add users, we can add groups, we can add all kinds of other stuff. All right. So that's another way that you can easily escalate privilege. That's another way you can easily escalate privilege. All right. Now, I don't know what SU is. What is SU? This is why system administration, Linux administration is so important. Once you catch the car, you got to be the big dog and be able to, beat the car up, not just chew on the tire. All right. So SU stands for super user in Linux. Once you can sue up, you basically become root. You basically become root. But I have to be able to do that. Sudo password root. Enter new Unix password. Tor. Retype it. Tor. Now if I sue up, done. I have everything. Okay? So escalation of privilege is also a key part of any type of pen test. Any type of pen test. I'm doing this now with you guys because you're the last group, and I can trash this version of Metasploitable because I get to do this all over again next semester. All right. So now that I can log in as root, I've changed the password. I can do a r login. All right. R login 192.168.225.140. Password of root. Done. So now I have a couple backdoors. All right. So for the R login, I'm just looking that you logged in. If you want to do the extra stuff, by all means, get used to doing that. You're not getting the extra points, but it's good for you to get that type of practice. Okay? Because having these system administration, Linux administration skills is so vital. It increases your worth out there when you go and look for offensive security jobs. All right, moving on. 9. Samba is running as a service on this machine. Show that you exploited it and provide a screenshot. So there's an easy way that you can do this. Now that we have Armitage running, I know you guys really like playing around with Armitage and everything else. It's a great easy point and click tool. Well, here's one for y'all. Right click, attack, Samba, and which one do we use? Let's go back to our Nmap scan. So look at that. 3.0.20. 3.0.20. Okay, let's do a quick little Google search of that. Samba 3.0.20. Ooh, looky there. There's an exploit. The user map script. Okay, going through here, it looks as if there's some of the information on the date. Username map script. Let's see if there's something in Armitage for that. Tac. Samba. You there? Winner, winner, winner. Port 139. Reverse connection. Go. Sometime today. Oh, I'm crushing everything with that OWASP scan. There it is. Done. Now, for some reason, I have a problem getting the shell. I think that's the version. I need to do an update on Armitage, but you may be able to get a shell in this. It will work. All right. So if I disconnect, and I don't think the other Samba ones are working. I don't think the brute force will work. Yeah. Yeah. So the other attack on Samba, there's like 3. No. See, it's 2-2. That's not going to work either. So we're not even going to try. All right. So just show me you get the lightning bolts. You're good. If you can get in and interact with it, even better. All right. So that takes us through number 9. Let's go back and see if we can get the PHP MyAdmin from OWASP Zap. So it's still running. Lovely. It's only the multi-day. It hasn't gotten to PHP MyAdmin. All right. Well, for the benefit of everybody, I'm going to kind of cut to the chase here. Private IP disclosure. That's no big deal. That's no big deal. What you will eventually get in OWASP Zap is a error, or a alert, I should say, that will show you PHP info.php. And that will come up as an alert. And this is a web page that gives you a lot of the information about the PHP server, the MySQL server. Okay. All right. Including, oh, that's a credit page. Sorry. Include path, hashing information, what's enabled, what's not enabled, etc. Okay, so all I'm looking for is that you get that web page. You find that web page. Okay, screenshot that, and that's number 7. Okay, sir.
So I was wondering, besides FTP backdoor, is there another way to find the usernames on the Metasploit box?
You can brute force it again and find that. You can. Let me see here. Once you do the Samba, Samba attack, let's do that again. So the question is there a way that I can find users other than the FTP backdoor? Once you do the Samba user map script, and you have access to the box, you can look at And the past session is for other pieces. I don't think you can. There's this backdoor as well. This is the other one for that FTP service that's higher up. We can try to do a reverse connection via it. Not valid. All right, that didn't work. Oh. Found shell. So that worked too. So now it's shell 3. So that's going through the... It's still not coming up. I don't know if this is a problem with my shell or what. But I'm not able to spawn. I could upload. I can pass a session. So if I pass a session and reverse TCP shell there on 16.432. So now I have 4 shells open on the box. But it's still not giving me any type of interaction, which is kind of strange. Maybe you'll have better luck on doing that. So the services you can look at as well from here. If we go to... I don't have credentials. I have not dumped anything. Typically with a shell, I think this is a problem with my version of Metasploit. I think I need to do an MSF update. Once you gain shell on a Linux box, you should have a pass the hash function. What pass the hash does is it goes and grabs the hashes from the shadow file and downloads them, and then you can use the John the Ripper tool to crack those hashes. That's another way that you could try it, but for some reason it's not doing it with this iteration. What I would do is I would try to do an MSF update and see if that fixed the problem if you encounter the same thing that I'm having. That's what I'm going to try to do tonight. So that's a good question, though. Do I have any other questions? Oakley dokley. This is due soon, I think. So I'm going to stop the recording here. And I have a couple announcements for this class. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, YouTube. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.